Welcome to our podcast series. Today we are going to meet an ashramite to honor the 100th centenary year of ashram. So we have come to the ashram and today we are meeting Mr. Krishnendu ji. Namaste ji.
Namaste.
So we are happy to have you in our special podcast series.
So we are here to invite our sadhak of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. We are very privileged to have him here for the first series of our Heart of Auroville on the occasion of 100th year of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. And it's a mother's grace and blessings of Sri Aurobindo. We start with Krishnendu ji. As we all know, the famous book, An Extraordinary Girl of Nirodbaran, where Isha, everyone must read the book, so you will know exactly who is Isha. Mrinalini, Sri Aurobindo's wife Mrinalini, taken birth and come to Sri Aurobindo and named as Isha. So he has the special privilege of serving Isha Di. So before we start, we like to hear from Krishnendu ji how he served with a special soul like Sri Aurobindo's wife. We like to hear more from you, Bhaiya.
Well, let me inform you that this is a great grand occasion that we are entering the centenary celebration of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. And I am connected with this ashram physically, personally, for last 35 years. Since 1991, I settled here, and since that day, the journey started. And on that context, let me inform you that my journey was so wonderful with the grace of the Divine Mother and Sri Aurobindo that today I am with all pleasure and with all joy and enthusiasm to the humanity, I could able to present a significant offering on this context. The deeper significance of Sri Aurobindo Ashram in the evolution of humanity, for the entire humanity, how it can be elevated through this book. So this is the book, a monumental work has been done, an in-depth research has been done, how the journey of 100 years have taken place of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. Actually, it is more than 100 years because since the day Sri Aurobindo put his foot on Pondicherry on 1910, since then it is 116 years. But officially it started in 1926, the ashram, so we say that it is a 100-year celebration of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. But in that journey, how it influences the total human evolution process, we will be able to know from this book. So, when you are talking about my acquaintance with Isa Mukherjee, is a very great soul. She was from an Devi clan, from a clan of a Devi. You can say that Banasur at the time of, in the contemporary of Sri Krishna's, that time Banasur's daughter was Usha Devi. So she fell in love Aniruddha, who was Sri Aurobindo also being told.
Yes, yes.
So from that time onwards, this reincarnation has taken place.
Okay.
And Aniruddha was grandson of Sri Krishna.
Yes.
And Sri Aurobindo came and Usha Devi became Mrinalini. Then Mrinalini became Isa Mukherjee, the great granddaughter of Surendranath Banerjee, the then president of Congress.
Yes.
1925 she took birth.
Yes.
And Dijendralal Rai, the father of Dilip Kumar Rai,
yes,
who has written the song, composed the song Dhana Dhanya Puspe Bhara Amari Basundhara Emon Deshti Kothay Khoje Pabe Na Go Tumi. Se Ei Je Amar Janmabhumi, the great poet.
Yes.
So from maternal side, that was he was his grandfather, her grandfather. So from that gracious family, she took birth as a one daughter only, as a one grandchild only. So very lavishly being brought up, and she came to ashram and got the great privilege of modern Sri Aurobindo in a personal way, which is written in this book. An extraordinary girl is being told by Sri Aurobindo in a particular context.
Yes.
Only Sri Aurobindo only mentioned it as an extraordinary girl.
Okay.
And the mother knows that who is she,
Yeah.
and Nalnida also knew who is she.
Yes.
Champaklalji also knew. Nirodharan of course knew, because Nirodharan was elder to her.
Yeah.
In spite of that, Nirodha wrote about her,
Yes.
because it was being told by Sri Aurobindo, was being guided by Sri Aurobindo to write about her life, soul's journey.
Okay.
So my privilege was, I was not aware of it in 91, still 91 about her at all. I think 94.
Okay.
I was 3 years after I came to know about her through a friend of mine. Well, that I have given all elaboration in an interview with Narad. I have
Yes.
given.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apart from that, briefly I will mention that it was a great privilege that Sri Aurobindo brought me to her, because we didn't have any context to meet.
Okay.
Because neither I was reading in Mother India her chapters written by Nirodharan, whatever being mentioned here, nor I have any inquiry of like that. Only thing was, I was praying, aspiring. Only thing was, I was aspiring that one fine morning in 93, sometime in 93 end, that mother, I wanted to hear the stories of those days of the ashram,
Oh.
those early days of the ashram.
Yes. Yeah.
Because 1925 her birth year, so last year was centenary year of her.
Oh. Okay.
And 26 ashram took birth.
Oh yeah.
So this is also the centenary year of her.
Yeah. Yeah.
So look at the kind of coincidence. I mean, say together we are celebrating almost
Yeah.
the centenary. So as you pointed out particularly about her, it was in this context it was not expected, but since you brought, I'll connect with that how it is so relevant. Her incarnation here and being associated with the ashram so closely,
Yes.
how we are being helped, because she was the only one
Okay.
who was concretely being able to hear Sri Aurobindo's voice
Yes.
in
Yes.
every walk of her life.
Yes.
Every walk of her life, any question, any time, with so much of love. I mean, say so much of love being parted with Sri Aurobindo and the mother. Apart from the letters, in many occasions. So I am surprised and grateful to the mother that they brought me, because one day I was exploring from where to listen all these stories. So it happened coincidentally that one of my friend came, was looking for her. Then we went and met and started. We fell in love with her and she fell in love with us.
Is that
And the journey started 6 years. I was closely associated with her. And that 6 years was a very valued years for me in ashram, in entire ashram, because I could able to come to the close to Sri Aurobindo, very close to Sri Aurobindo, because every day as if our file is open before Sri Aurobindo, because Sri Aurobindo is constantly with her, constantly, unimaginable. The very first meeting when I met her, I have read before that many lives of many devotees, the
Yes.
journey of many sadhaks,
Yes.
but I have never met anyone. So the day in which I met her, Esadi, I was surprised and I was grateful to the mother. We spent first meeting itself, it went 4 hours to 5 hours. First meeting itself. And she narrated how she came close to Sri Krishna, Sri Aurobindo, Sri Ramakrishna. Everyone was known to her and she used to hear everyone's voice, but mostly Sri Aurobindo.
Oh.
So I was very fortunate that I was in full faith, full in consonance with this kind of things. So I could able to receive a lot,
Yes.
which others also being here knowing this also, they couldn't able to receive that much. But I received it very intensely. That was the greatest privilege. So apart from our personal things, personal connections, personal experiences in every occasions, every events, whether I'll go to visit Himalaya or not, do this or not. Everything I was used to get answer. What is, how Bhagavat is true, how all these things, how many things are being asked and many answers are there. But
So-
main significant thing which I will present today, how in a context Sri Aurobindo has guided us that how he is raising India. That is very important. Individual experiences, let's put in another session that I will narrate according to your personal quest.
Yeah.
But I will bring together today that why I wrote this book and what inspired me so strongly to come to present it with certainty, with all fortification, that this is needed for the country now. This is needed for all our leaders, for all our statesmen, all our bureaucrats, because spirituality is the need of the hour. Urgency needs eternity now. Urgency needs infinity. Urgency needs the eternal. Urgency needs the divine now. There was a time when human being could roam around on earth without divine. It is manageable. But now the time has come, there is a need of it. And without that, it is very difficult. So let me first finish this matter, then I'll move on to this book aspect.
Yeah, I'll have a question. So Sri Aurobindo was inside, from within. She lived the inner life. So she always connects with the inner life, and Sri Aurobindo only talking through her. Did she know that Sri Aurobindo, that her connection with Sri Aurobindo in a previous life, or she doesn't want to touch that?
She knew about it.
Yeah.
She very much knew about it, but she has never tried to encase it, or she has never tried to propagate it.
Okay.
No aggrandizement,
Okay.
no propagation,
Okay.
and she keeps it within, and she never mentions about it.
Okay.
Never. In 6 years' time, she has never mentioned a single time that I am so and so. Never. But
Very-
she knew it very well.
Oh, thank you, sir. So, India,
Yes.
at this juncture, it has a very big role to play. At spiritual realm, we know how Sri Aurobindo guided from the beginning the development of India and its role in the world. So, could you please, you have written beautiful, the content shows the depth you ponder over the importance of India and its role. So, could you please talk about those things, very important things?
Yeah, there are many people writing many things from the Auroville, from Ashram, from all over India. The context is now that how India will be the spiritual guru of the world. That's why I mentioned in this book a handbook on making India the spiritual guru of the world. It was not decided earlier. It was the significance of Sri Aurobindo Ashram in the evolution of humanity. The book was given for printing. One fine morning when I was meditating in ashram, suddenly these two lines came to me. At that time the book has already gone to the press in Chennai.
Oh.
So that two lines came, and it was being mentioned to me that it has to be printed in golden embossing.
Okay.
It is as important as it is.
Okay.
So I went to Chennai to mention him that whatever may be the cost, this is to be mentioned. That is what it has come here. Normally you will not find inside the golden embassy.
Yeah.
It has come a handbook on making India the
Yes.
spiritual guru of the world.
Yeah.
So the book, many books are coming out, but to give a book in a guiding principle on the light and vision of Sri Aurobindo directly, that is because I wanted to today in this session I will make it very clear that there is no imperfect human being can make a perfect India or perfect world, because we are all imperfect. If it is the perfection has to be brought, if really something truth, beautiful, harmonious has to be brought, it has to be brought by the divine alone.
Yes, sir.
Well, I will let you know that what is the major contribution of SRE connection with Sri Aurobindo, the weekend and lesson to Indians. So, 21st May 1991, the assassination of Rajiv Gandhi here in Chennai, somewhere nearby, close by Chennai. Sri Aurobindo was choosing that. So, that day, when she heard the message, she was totally taken aback that how this can happen. The ex-prime minister of the country could be assassinated in such a manner, brutally being assassinated in a heinous way. Well, so she was bemoaning with this thought that what if the condition of India has gone down, that this can happen to one ex-prime minister, then it can happen to anyone. So what kind of chaotic situations happen to the country? So that deeper thought, it gives us a glimpse that how much Sri Aurobindo has involved, because Mother has told Sri Aurobindo has never left us. He is very much here on earth, and till the work is done, he will never leave us. He is very much with the earth consciousness. I wanted to give a proof of that we just take it granted. Mother and Sri Aurobindo were there, now they are not there, they physically left. But it is not that at all. If there is one like Sri Krishna who is ever present in every atom, everywhere, like an immanent divine within us and outside us. Similarly, Sri Aurobindo, as equal as with Sri Krishna, as an embodiment of Sri Krishna, we can consider, is also equally present. Mother and Sri Aurobindo is equally present, always as they used to be. So I'll mention that exact wording, how it happened. The other day I was bemoaning, she is mentioning to Nirudvaran. The other day I was bemoaning the tragic fate that had overtaken Rajiv Gandhi and was saying to myself, he was such a fine personality. What a desperate condition India has been reduced to these days. It is equally applicable today also. There has never been such chaos, confusion and violence since India gained independence. She is thinking, no one seems to be safe today. While I was lost in these gloomy thoughts, I heard Sri Aurobindo telling me, there is nothing to be surprised about. Among the leaders, there is hardly a true lover of India. Almost all of them want power, position, fame and money. Corruption is rampant everywhere. Sri Aurobindo is telling. So what else can you expect? Few years before, Indira Gandhi has passed away in 1984. 7 years after, this is Rajiv Gandhi's passing away. In our, that's why Sri Aurobindo is telling, so what else can you expect? In our time, we truly loved India. People sacrificed their lives for the sake of the motherland. We never forgot God. We felt His power working through us. All the leaders were the disciples of yogis. And the Vande Mataram acted like a mantra. It echoed from shore to shore, state to state. That was India then. And today, nobody takes the name of God. And Vande Mataram, so long as it is like that, India will suffer. This trouble will continue for a long time. Then a change will come. You may not be alive to see that change, but I will raise up India.
Wonderful, sir.
So, this I will raise up India, I am like his son. Can forget this line? That was my greatest privilege of coming in intimacy with that great soul, which I got, and that is how I wanted to put that how Sri Aurobindo is raising India through this book. This great privilege that I got. So Sri Aurobindo told that you may not be there to see that. So 2013 she left her body. February 23, 2013 she left her body. Mr. Narendra Modi came in 2014, and first thing he did the Sastang Pranam in the parliament and uttered the word Vande Mataram.
Yes.
Then I realized how Sri Aurobindo is working. Whatever people say about him, whatever way the critics present it, I am not telling that he is everything. No one is anything. It is the divine switch, divine grace that pouring, and divine wants to lift. That is a great privilege for us. We are today so safe compared to any other countries in the world. The very reason is Sri Aurobindo is completely working on the spiritual potentiality of India, which even the many of the politicians, many of the bureaucrats, they do not understand what is behind. They think that we are doing. They think that we are inspired by Mr. Modi. Apart from that, it is Sri Aurobindo who is behind everything. He is raising India as he conducted India's independence, as he conducted Second World War. So similarly, he is conducting how to raise India, how to make India to contribute its what he is supposed to contribute to the world or the humanity, to save humanity, to give a new journey to the humanity, a luminous future, to bring the luminous future for the humanity. When the entire world, entire humanity is in a hopeless condition, where there is no certainty, no Trump, no Biden, no Putin, no one can save them. In that context, time will come when the whole world will look at India. That because the personality, the character, from the time immemorial, as the India has built up through their culture, through their heritage, through the spiritual journey of India, the personality as it has developed in India. It is not that the other countries, it is not that, it is there. But if a spiritually ordained life, as it is conducted in India for thousands and thousands, millions of years, so that presentation to the world is now required. So that is why India becoming the spiritual guru of the world is very, very important. And you can see, you can verify today, 91, this is the event which I described to you. And today is 2026. After these 35 years of this event, of this Sri Aurobindo's voice, you can see exactly how the things are happening, how wonderfully things are happening.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes, please.
So, future humanity, you have written about the Superman according to the vision of Sri Aurobindo. So, can you glimpse from his words to Isha the same thing about the Superman? Did she anywhere spilled out the beam about?
Yes, sometime she asked if you are very particular about that, because for me very important is I just gave a link that how Sri Aurobindo in every micro aspect has answered her, and how relevant it is for all of us also. But particularly for Superman, whatever Sri Aurobindo has described in the book, it goes without saying that it is as concrete, as perfect as it is being mentioned in the book. It is going to happen. But since you are asking about with relation to yesterday, once she asked that how long it will take, Sri Aurobindo told it may take 2,000 to 3,000 years. So I do not know this turmoil, this entire thing as it is happening. It depends particularly, I believe, on the aspiration of the people. The quicker the people, the humanity opens itself to a true spirituality. So first of all, the humanity is yet to understand what is true spirituality. If humanity would have understood Gita as it is being mentioned in many organizations, then Sri Aurobindo, it was not needed for Sri Aurobindo to write again on essays on the Gita. It was truly, when Sri Aurobindo interprets something, it is from the height of the supreme consciousness, and how it is exactly relevant for the human being and how the human being should accept it. In that manner, Sri Aurobindo has mentioned things. So, in today's context, though he is mentioning as seeing the scenario that it may take 2,000 or 3,000 years to bring the Superman, but I believe personally, I have seen in many of the events, if the aspiration is high, the aspiration is strong, the collaboration is perfect from the human side, then the things can happen even tomorrow.
Yeah, yes. That's what we like to hear from you, because mother once said it may be 3,000 years, 300 years, or 30 days, or 3 days, or maybe 3 seconds also.
Even in somewhere also Sri Aurobindo has mentioned 300 years, he's telling that the replacement of the organs, that chakras will replace all our organs. Yes. Such a transformation will take place in the human body in course of time. As you can see the purifier, that metamorphosis of the human being as it is changing. Similarly, you can see that appearance of the human being and its inner and outer organs will change. So he is telling that it will take around 300 years that chakras will replace organs. So you don't need any organs anymore. So to that extent, the physical transformation is supposed to take place. But if we calculate our aspiration in some other direction, then we cannot expect even those things. So the object is indirectly or directly, as you are mentioning from your question, that whole object is a new race is to come, a new race in which the humanity will inculcate the divine presence, divine life within his walk of life. That is very, very important. So one has to understand what is true spirituality. So I'll simply will tell you, if really a man is a spiritual man, he is the most richest person on earth. You tell me, in Savitri one line is there, all is too little that the world can give. Its power and knowledge are gifts of time. But it cannot fulfill the spirit's spiritual thirst. So the thing is, true spirituality, if you want to understand, the humanity has to understand, humanity has to know one thing, that is the richness which will clear up all the poverty of, in any respect, poverty of our strength, the poverty of our material life, the poverty of our thought process, poverty of our knowledge. All poverties can be eliminated through the spiritual richness. Sometimes the politicians, they ask that India has a spiritual, spiritual way of living, but what is the use of that? Many other day when I was sitting with the union, that Minister of Youth Affairs, he asked me the first question, that how it is that India, being a spiritual country, being invaded by so many years, hundreds and thousands of years, by the Muslims, then the British, etc., etc. So then I told him, Vivekananda has told one thing, that in one hand you can have Gita and another hand you can have the gun. Similarly, Sri Krishna has told the Yogastu Kuru Karmani. You can fight, you can do everything you can do, but the spirit is, the divine is doing through you. So that is, India has to show to the world. Without divine, life on earth really has no meaning, because the creation cannot be creation and the creator cannot be separated. We are a mere species. The human being is a mere species like any other species. But he has given the privilege that when in the one of the great scripture in Bhagavad it is mentioned that Manusya Madhya Divya Jnana Dekhi Santosa Bhagavan. That difference between other species and human being is that there is a place where Supreme could able to plant the divine knowledge, the divine power, the divine existence in a prominent manner in human being. So because of that reason, the human being has the potentiality of becoming the divine, which the animal part and other species do not have that privilege, where the human beings. But if the human being doesn't understand that, then human being has to understand it through the spirituality. In a normal way, he cannot understand it. So it has to understand through the spirituality, the culture of spirituality. The spirituality truly makes the human being richer, gives the potentiality of elevating himself to a higher consciousness.
So one last question, sir. You have written such a beautiful guidelines and guidance to the future. So, in this book, what was your inspiration? What makes you to write this book? Any intuition came to you, or something you have in your...
No, the time has come. Actually, I was not calculating anything. I was being used. This is a work of the mother. It is actually, I have just participated. I have become instrumental to it. But how it will be I was thinking of writing 5-6 chapters, small chapters, and to finish it up. Because when I'm working for the new race series. New race, the ashram is being made to build up a new race. This is the basic objective of the ashram, that how to plant the seed of a new race here in this divine environment. Because this is, if there is heaven is there on earth, if you can say, that is the place here when it was made by the mother. Because the joy when you get, see, any ordinary human being, when they come across here, they stay here for a few days. You tell them, you ask them that this is the way, after that you will pass away, then you will go to the heaven. He will tell, those who have intensely witnessed this atmosphere, they will tell, I don't need any other heaven. If there is any heaven I need, then this is this atmosphere I need. Even life after life after life, I need this atmosphere. Because such a delightful world mother made here in this tiny atmosphere, in comparison to the universe. Such a delightful world she built up here during the course of her stay here. So, in that context, we are so privileged to have that. That is the heaven. So, whole object was to show, mother wanted to show that through this living standard, the way of living, how we can build up a new race on earth. Because unless until the new race doesn't take place on earth, this world is the humanity is completely in a vicious circle. The intellectuals, whatever way they interpret, whatever way they make the solution, but they will round and round, they will come back again to the same kind of problems, maybe in different color, in different angle, in different aspect they may come. But round and round, they will reach there only. So that is why we need to practice a life which will give beyond, which will take you beyond man. Which will make a Gnostic kind of consciousness, a Gnostic world, a Gnostic race beyond man, which will transcend the human consciousness, which will transcend the human being to this. So that has to be taken up seriously by some communities, and Auroville is one among them. So Auroville, in my understanding, is a prototype reflection of the human progress on earth. Things cultivated here, things planted here in the laboratory. Then it is the sample has been planted again in Auroville to see that how it works. If Auroville, there is no failure and success, to tell you very frankly. When I will take up another session, I will tell you about details about Auroville. As we count as a human being something like failure and success, but divine there is nothing failure and success, because it is a laboratory. It is name given as Sri Aurobindo Ashram because there was no other name to be given, but it is actually a laboratory where the epitome of the all kinds of character, all kinds of nature has been brought here as a sample, and that is to be worked out. As from the monkey, from the species of monkey, the human being came. Similarly, also from us, a new species will arrive. So it is not an easy process. From caterpillar to become a butterfly, 21 days it has to do tapasya, isolate itself, and to stay. So similarly, mother has tried to give us a life here in ashram, that how you can become from the caterpillar to become a butterfly. Similar way, the nature's alchemy as it takes place, it is the transformation has to take place. The basic objective is we will move in our work towards perfection, in our thought towards perfection, with love, beauty and harmony. At the same time, transformation will take place through the divine force. For that, the supramental force, you have to ascend to the supramental force, then it will work flawlessly within you.
So this metamorphosis has to be taken care of.
So that has to be taken seriously. You cannot make it a fun. So Auroville, if it is Auroville, in Auroville or in ashram, whatever, ashram she has showed the light. That's what I have tried to bring it in this book. So I have been working in the New Race series. So in these 14 chapters, whatever the 14 chapters I have given, I have tried to establish in that what is the eternal truth of Sri Aurobindo Ashram. What was the reason to make Sri Aurobindo Ashram? Because Sri Aurobindo and the mother is working worldwide in the entire universe. Their force is working, the supramental force is working. But the people have to understand that through this transformer only, the force came, and this is a practical organization being made, which is very, very practical from spiritual point of view. It's not that we are propagating something or some religioustic approach is there that we have to convince the divine that we love you, nothing like that. You have to apply it. It is a totally application, and you have to transform yourself. So that is the first place on earth has been taken, Sri Aurobindo Ashram, that where you can see generation after generation, today and for tomorrow also, the people should come and see that how the life has been taken care of towards the divinity, towards a divine life, from a semi-animal life to a divine life, how the life journey has taken place and through the guidance of the Mother Sri Aurobindo. And that reflection has to come to the entire world. So if the government, my message through this book is actually meant for the people, those are the forerunner among human beings, working practically, and they are on the field actually, in the work field actually, and they are giving shape to a new India, a new consciousness, or a new world, a new humanity. Those are giving the young, a call to the young of India, as mentioned in the book behind I mentioned. That to those people I wanted to give message, whether they know Sri Aurobindo or the Mother, that is immaterial. Whether they know divine or not, that is also immaterial. But since they are the forerunner, they are at the forefront, and they are working for the country, for the humanity, from the core of their heart, truthfully. So they need a guidance. They need a proper guidance by which they should not stay at the end of the day. Oh, we tried so much, but people, it didn't work. So that is why through this book, I wanted to give it to the entire India, and if possible to the humanity, any part of the humanity, that how Sri Aurobindo has guided, and Sri Aurobindo can raise India, can raise humanity, can Sri Aurobindo can give humanity a luminous future, and Sri Aurobindo can take humanity from man to the Superman. And that is very, very essential. The Superman has to come. At least before Superman, the Gnostic beings should come. And people like all of you, those are very sincere about Sri Aurobindo and the Mother and their messages and their vision and their work. They should truthfully, sincerely, without any hypocrisy, without any showing off, as normally it happens with politicians, with bureaucrats, IS officers. I mean, say they have taken, I do not know how they have taken the religion and the spirituality, what they want to establish. So for them particularly, I want to give the message that be clear, you are nothing. You should know that you are nothing. You can't do anything. Round and round, you reach same problem, same chaotic situation where you were. So you should openly, like a child, with all humility, you should try to understand, if you can in this life, in your position and power, can understand and percolate that power and message among the humanity, then it's a great thing. You remember one thing, when Sri Aurobindo gave a solution for the Cripps Commission in 1942, Sri Aurobindo sent an envoy, messenger, Durai Swami, for the leaders of the country, that you accept Cripps Commission as it is now. So that will stop India from division. But they made a fun of it. They told, you have taken a spiritual recluse, and what is the need to interfere? Something like that happened. They didn't listen. So imagine, Sri Aurobindo is the supreme incarnation. It is being, if the people do not know today, they will realize it afterwards. Sri Krishna, they have not understood. After 5,000 years, the whole world is understanding who is Sri Krishna. Similarly, what Sri Aurobindo is and the Mother is, people will understand. That is not. So Sri Aurobindo is telling that you accept it. They didn't listen to it. And what happened? 200 crores of people, 140 of India and Bangladesh and Pakistan. All these people are suffering since that day till today because they didn't listen to Sri Aurobindo. Today also I am telling the same thing. This book carrying the message of Sri Aurobindo completely, how to save this world from this chaotic situation. So my request that as early as possible, the government of India, the bureaucrats of India, the leaders of India, the young people, those who are working in any field, in education, in defense, saving the country or this, that, if they are open to a new concept, if they truly want that India to rise up, that truly they want a new India of new consciousness, and truly they want to influence to the world and humanity and stop this warmongering attitude, this fundamental religioustic approach of and fighting together years after years, Then Sri Aurobindo's guidance is very, very important. They practically unified themselves. They have to unify themselves with the Sri Aurobindo's consciousness. Then only it can save the world, save the humanity.